Look, it may be 2:40 a.m. right now, but that is not gonna stop me from getting you with the hottest intro you've ever seen to any podcast ever in life. As always. Because you know what? As this podcast ends with you, baby! Episode 9. And what an episode it is. It's way too long. It's way too long. I'm gonna say that right off the bat. But we had a lot to discuss, including but not limited to the ending of The World Ends With You, the animation, talking about the final episode and our general impressions of the entire anime, and talking about the final gameplay trailer for Neo: The World Ends With You, as well as talking about our impressions of the demo of Neo: The World Ends With You. And so a jam-packed episode that we have here for you today, a jam-packed episode that would not be possible to do without our wonderful Patreons at patreon.com/TPEWY. So as always, I would like to thank Kristia Ventresca, Dark Dude, Saimatsu Shipper, Shin Kojin, Zeta Slow, RSP, Willow, and of course, Exilra. Your support means more to us than you ever know, and you can join them in supporting us from as little as $5 dues a month to join our exclusive Discord. Go to www.patreon.com/TPEWY for more. Alright, enough rambling. Episode 9, TPEWY, go! Greetings! Hello. It's Ahmed from the past. Ooh. Because we're recording. Ooh. Because Mai can't organize her flights properly. Ooh. Spooky.
Excuse you.
What?
I'm sorry that my sister is growing up and moving to a different state, okay? Sorry that I have to go.
Alright, you know what? It's family things. I can let it slide this once. Just this once, though. I'm merciful in that way.
This is the second time a family thing has come up.
Hey, merciful. That's the word we're using. Merciful. Right.
Yeah. I'm merciful. I'm humble. I'm quiet.
You totally don't have a gun pointed to our heads.
I told you not to talk about it. What'd I say?
Oh.
Oh, hey, it's the water gun.
Welcome back to this podcast. It ends with you, with me, Amadeus _, joined by Osmaneku and Myra Zed. Say hello.
Hello.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone.
Welcome back to episode 9. We've almost hit double digits.
Oh my.
Who could have seen it coming?
We've almost been doing this for 5 months.
That's insane. That's insanity in a box.
Yeah, that just hit me like a truck.
I think our very first episode was our very first episode or second episode like us reacting to the anime preview.
Yes.
And now we're reviewing the final episode of the anime and just reviewing the anime as a whole. Like, my God, that's crazy to think about.
It's definitely been a rather crazy 18 weeks. Like there's been so much that has happened, and like the exponential growth that we saw through us doing this. Just
yeah.
I love every single one of you that watches this every single time, just so you're aware.
Yes. He will sign autographs. He will I also love you. That's also important. How do you feel about one of yours?
We all love you.
Yes, okay. There we go.
I went into this really pessimistic and it's gone so well.
Dude, I went into this real story before we even get into the agenda today. Real quick, real story. When Mai was considering about rebranding the Twitter, I was like, because she's in charge of the Twitter and like this, I host a podcast, and she was like, we should turn into a podcast Twitter and rebrand to that. And I was like, that's a bad idea, Chief, because if this podcast crashes and burns, that Twitter crashes and burns with it. How wrong I was.
Yeah. Well, I was hesitant too. I was very hesitant. We all were, yeah. I'm just really glad it paid off.
My exact words at the time were expect to lose followers, and then we gained 150.
Life is weird. But we shall continue onwards. On today's schedule, on this episode of this podcast ends with you, we're going to talking about the final episode of the anime. And by extension, sort of summarizing the anime and what we thought of the entire thing and sort of wrapping it up nice in a neat bow. We are going to talk about... We're going to be talking about some... A few. We have a few pieces of news here and there we can talk about. We're going to talk about us jinxing our luck and cursing ourselves by getting this... we taunted Papa SquareEnix. And Papa SquareEnix hit us with the hammer. And I couldn't be happier.
Every time.
They brought
Every
out the
time. We
belt.
say there's not enough news. It's somehow SquareEnix hears us. Every fucking time.
It's amazing. So yes, we're going to be talking about of course, the final trailer, the final gameplay trailer for Neo: The World Ends With You. And we are going to be talking about our impressions. We won't be talking about anything specific about the demo, because I'm aware people want to some people want to stay blind on the game. We're going to talk about our general impressions of the demo without spoiling anything. But first, before we get to any of that, before we even get to the anime ending, it's serious business time. I don't like to get serious on this podcast. You know, it's a good time. I'm out here making Joshua jokes. I'm just kidding. I tell Joshua truths. But this is no joking time. It's time to get my big boy pants on. It's time to hit you guys with I'm gonna put my 9-to-5 old like suit on to say that some people are bad. Like really bad, and have been leaking some of the content that has been going from the trailer. So they've been data mining the trailer, not the trailer. Sorry, they've been data mining the demo, data mining the demo, and getting some information regarding story stuff. Some of them have ripped music, some of them have ripped sprites. I would just like to say, as the host of this podcast is with you, we will not be tolerating it. We will not be circulating it. We will not be acknowledging it. We will not be going anywhere near these leaks, because it's kind of a douchey move to ruin what is 14 years of anticipation in order to be the first to post something on the internet. It's objectively a bad thing. I think what I said on Twitter is, I wish your parents had hugged you more. If you think if that's what you like doing to people. Don't do that. I think I speak for all of us when I say that, right, Neku?
There is a reason I have not been on Twitter, everybody. I have literally been avoiding all social media outside of Reddit because I have to deal with the subreddit. I knew this was going to happen. I told people it was going to happen. People didn't believe me. And then it happened, and people got spoiled, and I'm angry.
To be fair, it seems like... Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm frustrated in the community a little bit, just like those people, and because this is such a great community, and it's just those few people that ruin it for everyone.
I mean, I don't think it's even necessarily people in the community. It could just be random douchebags who just want to ruin it for everybody.
That is true.
It is their choice, and I completely endorse the fact that it is their choice. I have no problem with it being your choice. Don't share it. Especially don't post it on Twitter and put it under a hashtag and make people see it.
Yeah, that's exactly my point, is just don't put it on platforms where people who don't want to see it will see it. Like I was on 4chan, like whatever. Put it on 4chan. Like I haven't seen anything on Twitter.
Me neither.
Thankfully. But yes.
Yeah.
What do you want to say?
Well, I know that a lot of people are muting things, and I'm glad I muted things. So hopefully that's why I'm not seeing anything.
I haven't seen anything, but I might start.
I just deleted Twitter.
So if I can steal a statement from my one of my favorite YouTubers, Philip DeFranco, don't be stupid. Don't be douchey, you douche. Don't do that thing. And we certainly won't be circulating it. So you can listen to This Podcast Ends With You in peace. So whenever you watch This Podcast Ends With You, you can be sure to know that all the bad takes and all the bad things you hear from yours will be coming from my. That's all. That's it. That's my Amadeus guarantee to you. I'm sorry, but not that sorry. Because
You're a show fan. You can't be sorry.
Exactly. I don't feel mercy. However, I do feel emotion because this final episode of the anime sure did invoke some emotion from me. And one of those
good.
Not all of them good. In fact, the very first of them is anger. So if we start talking about the last episode here, I want to say something right off the bat, right? Let's just let me get just
prepare your ears. We're about to get a scream.
Real
get my headphones away from my ears.
Why did you tease two pins the entire anime, only to not have one of them be crunched? What do you mean? How does this make any sense? They've literally, the amount of times they flashed at is insane.
4 or 5 times in 12 episodes, I think.
It felt like every episode. Or at least every other.
I think it felt like every other episode, honestly. And where was our satisfying crunch?
It's not even just that there wasn't a crunch. They didn't even bring it up, and
the only thing they did was they made his pin float in front of his face with a nice orangey aura and said, "Oh, this stopped the mind control."
They didn't even talk about mind control on Neku. I don't remember Megumi even trying.
Nope. Nope, he sure didn't.
The main problem I have with this part is the fact that all of the major revelations at the end of the game, why he had 2 pins, why Megs was as hard boiled as he was, etc., were never actually explained.
I don't know. Wish I could tell you. I have no idea. It drives me bananas, though. It drives me up a wall. I don't know why. After them making such a big deal of 2 pins, they didn't even use it the same way they did.
It feels like a cop out. It was like, oh, we ran out of money, so we're not going to bother.
Ugh.
Man, I don't know.
If that's actually what happened, I genuinely feel bad for Square Enix and for the animation team, because running out of money when you're doing an anime obviously sucks. But if that's actually what happened, that's the worst thing you can do for a video game adaptation, because you lose so many important things.
That is sucky. Yep. We can live with it. We can try to move on. It's slightly annoying. There's there's some things I liked about this final episode. There's a lot of things that kind of I was a bit iffy about. But we shall continue. Starting with the final fight, which, by the way, this entire fight occurred before the opening even started playing. Before we even heard Twister. By the way,
the first 5 minutes of this episode were fights.
Can I just say, rip to any chance of us getting Teen City Riot? I had a hope that it might come back last episode.
I really hoped. That's what they should have done.
Man,
I was talking about it. I think in episode 2 or 3 of the podcast. The biggest and most impressionable moment you can get in an anime is when the theme song starts playing against the big bad. I don't remember it happening here. Can somebody remind me? Did they play Twister here? I don't think they did.
No.
They played something else. They didn't play Twister. They played another big song. I can't remember what it was now, but they did play another song in there that wasn't Twister.
This could have been the perfect place for the OG Twister, because the anime version is the anime opening version is Twister Gang version. This could have been the perfect place for OG Twister. It was 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Just give me my anime moment. I don't watch a lot of anime anymore. I was hoping for it, and then I got gypped.
Yeah. What was your opinions on this final fight?
It was.
Oh boy.
Oh my god, my voice.
I feel like I'm the only one out of the three of us that liked this fight.
It was good, but it was just missing some stuff. It was just missing. Like it needed better music. I think it, like Neku was saying, that it was missing Twister. And I hadn't really thought of like what song was missing, but now that I'm like thinking about it, it's definitely missing Twister. And it's very odd, and I'll talk about it actually I'll bring it up now. It's just very odd without Joshua in the mix. And that's not why I don't like it. I mean I do like it. I don't really know how to feel about it actually. Just felt a little off.
I have varying opinions about this subject. I honestly think the fight itself was animated well. There were great moments of things actually happening. A sense of scale was really good. The three partners all working together was all really, really nice. But this is not Final Form Megumi. This is not the Golden Dragon with Joshua in his forehead. And that's the weirdest part of this scene for me. I keep looking at his head and I'm like, where is Golden Blonde Boy? Where is he? He's not here, and it's a problem because the only way this form actually works is because Joshua is there.
Yeah. Like there's like for me, it's there's a couple of things. You want to say your point first, Neku? Actually, go ahead.
I was gonna say, how did you feel about your boy not being here for this fight?
I really thought he was gonna show up in episode 11, because that's when he's supposed to show up, but then he didn't. And I understand, like in the game, when he shows up, you immediately can figure out, because when Megumi says, "Sir," you're like, "Oh shit."
A problem is afoot.
Yeah, and you can start piecing together that he's probably the composer, but it felt, I don't know, maybe I'm just so used to the game that it was missing Joshua.
There we go.
You're really mad about this, yeah.
That's what I wanted to hear. But
you wanted to hear me suffer.
I completely agree with you. Is the thing. I've been waiting for you to say it, because when Joshua shows up right before Megumi goes full power, it is such a moment of what the actual fuck is happening.
Exactly.
It braces you for it.
Mm-hmm.
No, this time Megumi just absorbs some noise and goes giant spaghetti monster and turns into a giant snake.
Yeah, and like in the game, some people like are able to be like, oh, well, at least like the ball that gets dropped later when in the anime Joshua shows up and is like, I'm the composer, and it's you're not like expecting it as much as you were in the game, but in the game you had a build up, and then it just kind of it felt more impactful in the game how you fight with him, so you even think that maybe he's on your side and it's fine, but no.
And then guns happen.
And then guns happen. Yep.
Man, what's your full thoughts on this fight?
This is the thing, right? I think this is gonna be a common theme that we're gonna be hitting throughout discussing this episode, and in fact the anime in general later. The problem is that this anime, it's gonna be difficult for us as people who have played the game to appreciate what's happening here, because we have a near perfect utopian ending. Well, not utopian, but a near perfect ending in our heads, which is the ending of the game, right? It was really solid and it was really good.
Mm-hmm.
I completely agree with you there.
We have that like embedded in our brains as we watch this. Unfortunately, I feel like that's kind of sabotaging the anime from the very beginning. Is that it's one of the anime, we have the ending in our head, and we have like, we're comparing a 25-hour SquareEnix RPG to a 5-hour anime. Mm-hmm. So there was gonna be cuts. So I feel like that's just something, because I've known people who have not played the game that really enjoyed this episode and this anime in general, because like, you know, they still get the shock of like, oh, Josh was the composer, and oh, everything comes back to life, and they still like all that stuff still affects them. For us who already know that stuff and don't have that, and we're looking for that stuff, it feels like a bit of a downgrade. Megumi in general, not just in this fight. I feel like Megumi was kind of dealt with, like treated kind of badly by this anime.
He really was. He got really shafted. Like we didn't even have the final talk with him. With like it was such an important talk between him and Joshua because it's establishing that there's a certain kind of respect between them. And in the anime, it's more portrayed like Joshua when he says, "You have a month." He says, "I don't care how you use it. Good luck." And that just came. I don't like how he said that. In the game, he says, "I wish you nothing but success." And that shows their relationship more clearly than the anime. And it just makes the anime relationship look like Joshua didn't care at all.
Yeah, that's true. I actually kind of miss Joshua being there. I just felt like him being there. Like as you said, look, it's. Let me finish.
Continue.
Let me finish. Because like he did add a lot being there. Just the confusion of him being there and being absorbed into the big thing. That's the other thing is that like he turns into like the big gold version of the boss due to him absorbing some noise as opposed to absorbing the partners, which is
weird.
It's weird.
I enjoyed the partners being there for the fight, but that's not how the fight went, and I hate it.
Mm-hmm. What happened to being trapped in a bubble?
And then just Megumi, like Joshua not being there means that we didn't get the confusion with Joshua. We didn't get Megumi and Joshua having their last little talk before he goes down. The fight itself was okay. The fight itself was all right. Like the action was pretty good. I have to say the 3D model for Megumi's noise form is pretty good. It's really well modeled. And the fusion attack is like the fusion attack with Mr. Mew is pretty good. But I don't know, it lacked a lot of luster for me. As somebody who enjoys When I Was With You and liked that ending, it could have been done better, in my opinion.
It definitely could have been.
Yeah.
I don't like being negative. I don't like being negative on the podcast, but it's that's just how I felt about it.
Can we all at least agree there's one major highlight in this fight?
What?
The final fusion attack was sick.
Yeah. It was pretty cool.
They put money and talent into that stupid animation of the player pin popping up and shooting a bunch of colorful beams. I loved it.
It was great, yeah.
Like that's the one I'll definitely give absolute kudos for. That's probably my favorite moment. I'm turning it into a GIF and I'm keeping it on my phone forever so I can use it as a band hammer.
It's just weird that he uses a keepin for it, but yes, the animation of it itself is really cool.
That exposition I will scream about later. I'm still confused.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Then after the fight and all is done, then and only then the intro plays. And then we enter a room that I don't think we've seen in the game before. Actually, did we?
No.
Yeah. It's the trail of the judge.
We've seen the Room of Reckoning, because that's where you get judged if you get to go back to life or not. But not like this.
We've seen Trail of the Judge. It's supposed to be right before the Room of Reckoning.
Yeah, no, actually, I do remember that. Yeah.
Oh, you are right. I forgot the Trail of Judge is before the Room of Reckoning. Wait, we never went to the Room of Reckoning?
We did go to the Room of Reckoning. That's where we were with the final fight. But then, for some reason, we leave the Room of Reckoning and go back out into the Trail of the Judge.
Yeah. It's weird.
I feel like my brain just short-circuited.
Like even if they're doing like the secret door thing, which brings you into the Room of Reckoning, I mean that went in from the Dead Gods pad, which just doesn't exist here in this plane. Like we've seen it, but it's just you just don't go in. You don't go into the room of reckoning through it like you did in the game.
It's weird. Like the layout of like the the Reaper's area underground, the Shibuya River, I guess, is trail to center, and then you end up in Dead God's Pad, and then you scan to find a door, and then you go through the scan door, okay, and then you find the Trail of Judge that leads to the Room of Reckoning.
Yeah.
They really screwed with the order of things here in the last 2 episodes, didn't they?
Yep.
A bit.
I don't understand this needless change, because the last day of the game, as long as it was, had great pacing. I don't understand why they chose to change it.
I'm still confused why it ended on day 6 instead of day 7.
It's so weird. 2 days left. Get into Shibuya River. Excuse you?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I thought there would be some sort of they're gonna do some exposition thing, or they're gonna touch on a new day at the end or something. None of that happened. Anyway,
I really thought.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. Because we're already taking quite a bit of time on this. But Naka doesn't realize that Josh was a composer until he says it. Makes sense. That's a good shock moment.
It was kind of sad. Nick is just so happy that he's alive. He's like, "We did it, man." He's like, and then Josh was just like, "Sorry to burst your bubble. I'm the composer."
It's bad. I can imagine just the English Joshua. Yikes!
Big cringe, my guy.
Same game.
That's pretty cringe, my dude. Yeah, I mean the face that he pulls after he realizes that Josh was composer is really good. I really like that shot.
One of the best shots in the anime. Dead serious on my part.
It's really good. It's really, really good. So there's one thing about Joshua in this that is quite interesting, is that he's way more threatening in this. Like you just get a better sense of his power in this, because my man stops Beats punch like it's nothing. He stops the punch. He like snaps his finger and like puts people in like a vegetative state. Like it's he does a lot of pretty serious stuff.
He does composer things, and my giggles.
You laughed. I forgot that you laughed. My man snapped his fingers. They go bang dead, and then cue the laughter from my like.
I was laughing the entire time, not just that.
What? Why do you find this
Why?
funny?
Because he's so intimidating. It's so funny.
So if this was happening to you, and Josh was in front of you,
I hate it.
Go brain dead, you'd giggle at him?
No, I would be mad, okay? Rest assured. I don't like what he's doing, but I find it funny from a bystander's point of view. And from like a story.
You are so biased. You are so biased right now.
This is like, god damn it.
I was also just laughing because I was like, oh wow, he's really using his powers to just do that. Oh, he's such a dick.
He's such a dick, giggles.
And you're so happy about it. I hate this. We're moving on.
My last comment is the fact that Joshua is actually terrifying in the anime, by the way.
Yeah.
He could erase them in a heartbeat.
Why do you sound so happy about that? Why? I don't get it. I don't understand. I've never heard you this happy.
Like, even when we started the first episode, you were not this happy. What is going on here? Power trip? Power fantasy? What is it?
What? No, this is totally not a different recording. What are you talking about? It's fine. We totally didn't have to record this over 2 different days. You and your crazy kooky conspiracy theories.
Hey, Ahmed.
So, as we were saying just a second ago, what were we saying just a second ago?
Hey, Ahmed.
Hi.
Where's OBS?
I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it.
You don't want to laugh at the meme in your head, really?
I don't want to talk about it. It's too raw. It's like losing a brother in the war. It's like, hey, remember your brother? He was funny. Like that's what you're doing to me right now. Like his brother lost in the war like yesterday. It's the same thing.
Dramatic. I feel like you're being dramatic.
Me? Dramatic? Never. You know somebody else who's never dramatic? Joshua.
That's a lie.
So we're gonna move on swiftly because you know
that's what we're gonna do. Let's move on.
Because you know apparently disabling people is funny to my it's been a day and she's still laughing. She hasn't stopped laughing since. Is.
She's been laughing this whole time, even while at work.
Yep. It's very concerning.
Why would you do this to us, Mai? Why are you laughing at our pain?
I guess it's funny.
You guess it's funny. You know what? I've said my piece.
Wait, at least it's not.
At least it's not. No, I want to hear this. At least it's not what?
At least it's not real pain, okay? You know, if you were dying in the middle of the street, no, I would not laugh, okay? But I like to watch your emotional suffering, okay? Because of an anime.
Oh, so it's fine because he's not being physically harmed. But because when they're being mentally harmed, that's hilarious. Okay, I understand you.
No!
I understand. No, it's okay. You know, no need to explain yourself.
I feel like you've missed
already
my
put it out
last
into the
sentence.
world. You made the mistake.
I feel like you missed my last sentence where I said it's only okay in the context of the anime.
You just like to watch us in pain because of the anime, don't you?
Yes.
So, okay. So he hands him a gun, right? And then he just materializes two guns out of look, I'm moving on, all right?
I've noticed.
He materializes a gun and he over each hand. Then he's like, much like a Kit Kat, you know when you get a Twix and you're too full for both the Twixes, so you take one Twix and you give your friend the other Twix.
Yes,
that's basically what Joshua did. He was like, I have one too many guns. You take this.
So he got a delicious treat. Okay, I see.
Yeah. I'm fragile right now. All right, I'm fragile. I need you to show a bit more compassion. All right.
That's not happening.
Wow, you are out for blood tonight. Help! Somebody help us.
So he takes the gun, and he's like, "Hey, we'll see who the composer is. We're gonna play us a rowdy, rousing round of Russian roulette." That's not even Russian roulette. That's
not even a Russian roulette. I wasn't gonna say anything.
Yeah.
It takes 10 seconds and they shoot each other. But unlike the game, where Neku is too overwhelmed and too heavily weighed down by the morality of everything to shoot him, and he just kind of cries and drops the gun. He decides to be all cute about it and hold out his hands and like, I trust you. And then that happens.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened.
Then he gets shot, and you know, that happened. That was fine. I think the change with him like holding his hand out like that is a bit odd.
I don't like it.
I hate it.
Oh, okay.
I hate it.
I think we're all in agreement for the first time in a while.
I just prefer the other way.
Yeah, it was far more impactful in the game because you are just like so convinced that you're about to die. Well, you really, it's just, and you wake up in the middle of Shibuya and you think, oh no, am I in another game? I thought that was the final boss, and then no, Joshua spared you, and like it takes away from that impact where you don't know what was going on in that situation and the showdown in the game. Just the confusion, the absolute emotions, the roller coaster that you're going on. It's just taken away a little bit. It stops in the middle of the tracks.
It for me, the biggest issue I had with the scene is in the game, it was very much like Neku basically having a mental breakdown. Like he starts crying, he drops the gun, he doesn't even look at Joshua again. He just gets shot. And in this version, he's like, I'm gonna trust you, even though you have murdered me and you're about to murder me again. And I'm like, I don't like this.
And that's like, it also bothers me because that's not why he lowered his gun in the game. It's not because he trusts him.
He literally had a mental breakdown. He was like, I can't shoot someone I saw as a friend. Like that's the implication there.
Exactly.
And I would have definitely preferred that scene in animation form where no words were spoken. Next, he just drops the gun and Josh just goes, okay, click.
I agree. I don't think it needed to be added in. But that is what happened, for better or for worse. Same result. And then now, I think before we go on here, we do have to explain a little bit that the ending of The World Ends With You is extremely confusing.
If you have
on
purpose, without any context or without like the knowledge of the secret reports, it's you don't exactly get fully what happened. So you can go back and do the secret report stuff. So this because this anime wasn't going to have any of that, it needed to have a more coherent ending that sort of gives a bit more closure than the game did. And it did. But one of the first weird things that it did is whenever Neku woke up in the Scramble Crossing, didn't have people looking at him. Like in the game, that's like that was the clue that's supposed to let you know that Neku's back in the RG.
No one cared about the emo boy in the middle of the street.
Yeah, just lying down. No one gave a shit.
Do we have like a 16-year-old kid in the middle of Shibuya Crossing, in the middle of major Shibuya traffic? He wakes up. People are walking around him like it's New York.
Yeah. Nobody cares. We don't get the what the hell. We don't get that either. Which
like the emotional resonation that you get with Neku when he thinks he's back in the game and he screams in frustration was so cathartic. Why didn't they give it to us?
It's also just really well delivered.
In English, I can say at least in English. I have not heard the Japanese one.
I've heard the Japanese, so it was good in there too.
Good.
But yeah, it was just so emotional, and they got rid of it.
Yep.
Like it's literally Neku thinking he got betrayed again, and then they took it out because why?
It's an odd exclusion for sure. Some of the other things that they did was, so it's very obvious that he came back to the RG, which is good. And then day goes by. Sorry, you want to say something?
I was about to scream about the fact someone literally bumps into him.
Yeah.
That is the most explicit you can get in this situation, and I do not like it.
Yeah, and then
I don't mind that.
10 feet.
I don't mind that. I don't mind him getting knocked into just to make it crystal clear that he's back in RG. I don't mind that too much. Because again, the game, when the game ended, it was being very, I want to use the word subtle, but it's more cryptic than it is subtle about it.
I'll definitely say I prefer the cryptic nature of the game ending. That's my big thing.
Yeah. I mean, they couldn't do that in the anime. It's just, because they weren't going to do secret reports, like it's pointless just excluding people like that if they didn't know the knowledge of the secret reports.
You're not wrong, and I hate it.
But a day goes by, and then they all meet. He meets Beat and Rhyme again in front of Hachiko. And we get the moment where all the Nishiki fans rejoice. We get the moment we've all been waiting for. We get the pan on IRL or RG Shiki finally, only to see nothing. We didn't see a damn thing. So we got duped again for the third time in 13 years.
14 years.
If we get duped, if we don't see Shiki's face in Neo, what's the point?
I will fly to Japan. I will stand in front of Square Enix's offices and scream, "What the hell!" I will riot.
I swear to God, in the game, they're gonna give her like. Have you guys seen JoJo's Bizarre Adventure?
Yes.
You know Shadow Dio, where like he has like that shadow over his face. That's just what they're gonna do with her and Neo.
No, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna see a singular eyeball. Like that's all we're gonna see. We're just gonna see an eyeball, and that's all we're ever gonna get at Shiki's face. We're never gonna get a full frontal ever.
Look, I'm of two minds about it. Right, as an Ishiki fan, I'm of two minds about it. One side of me is like, one of the reasons why I love Nishiki as a ship so much is that it has nothing to do with appearance, and it's more important than that. It's bigger than that. It's past that. And I feel like part of the reason they never showed her face in the game is because, the message of like, it doesn't matter what she looks like. It's just, it matters who she is. That's part of the entire message and part of the entire revelation that Shiki went through. The other side of me is like, God damn it, it's been 13 years. Just show me. Does she have freckles? Is she self-conscious? How thick are her glasses? Just tell me, damn it. So I'm very conflicted about this entire situation.
I think the entire fandom is of one mind in this situation. If we're not going to get Shiki here, we're never going to get Shiki.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, the animation was the perfect place to put a face reveal.
Sure, but I think they'd be remiss not to show her face in Neo.
I don't trust them after 14 years of build up. Okay.
I think for the sake of the anime, because it's trying to stick with the game and make the message like, it doesn't matter what she looks like. That is people are gonna. It sucks for us fans, but people that are watching it for the first time, they are going to learn that message for the first time. They're not expecting to see Shiki. Well, I mean, they were, but they're learning something from that. And so I like that I actually kind of like that they kept it true to the game. It sucks as a fan because I want to see her face, but from a story perspective, I'm glad that they kept it because it doesn't matter what she looks like.
Yep.
I completely agree with you. I'm just salty.
Also, we finally get physical contact between Neku and Shiki.
My God, the handshake of couples.
It's great. That's you. That's the equivalent of like a running hug where they spin around the park in Japan. That's it. Is that handshake? That's all you get.
The handshake in front of Hachiko of love.
That's it. And then everyone cried. And then Neku took off his headphones.
You have.
I'm just gonna say it. His head looks weird without the headphones. There, I said it. Neku's head looks really odd without the headphones. His head looks imbalanced. His hair is all over the place. It looks weird.
I
said it.
Insult me. I'm right here.
I didn't want to say it. I don't want to have to say it, but I can't. It's weird. His head looks so slim, and his hair is way wider now because there's no shape on his.
Insulting me. I'm right here.
Look, man, you should have kept the headphones on. That's all I'm saying. It's because they showed him for so long too. It's not like in the game where they just kind of show him take it off. He takes it off as soon as he sees her, which is a nice touch, to be fair.
The one thing I found really weird to me is I remember in the game when they showed him taking off the headphones, they never actually showed his ears. Am I insane? Did that not happen?
I think, whenever he took it off, his hands were covering up his ears. Like, they never showed his ears proper.
Yeah, and then we saw him from, like, behind when he let go. And, you just couldn't see, I guess, his ears. That's the
scene literally doesn't show his ears. It's literally his hair is covering his ears.
Yeah, so that's the weirdest thing for me, is that, oh my God, you can see Neku's ears.
You won't get to see Shiki's face, but you will get to see Neku's ears. That's life.
That's not a good trade-off. I disagree.
Life is strange sometimes.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
We already
So-
complained about Life is Strange. Move on.
Yeah, what is this? A Square Enix conference at E3? Come on, you guys.
No, it'd be half an hour of Marvel first.
Oh yeah, you're right. So it's time for exposition, because the one extra thing we got in this episode, which again, because they didn't do secret reports, they had to do this here. We got a full-on conversation between Hanekoma and Joshua about the game and what happened, and a lot of stuff that's just in the secret reports and that is never directly addressed in gameplay in the game. Here.
It's literally 15 minutes of exposition, and as like interesting as what's going on is, it's still 15 minutes of exposition.
Mhm. Yeah, and even after it, my friends that are blind to TWEWY that went to the anime, they're like, I'm still confused.
Like, to be fair, the secret reports don't explain a lot in the first place. Like, they're still confusing as hell.
Mhm.
But I feel like we don't know more from the anime. We know less.
Yeah, like I had to explain everything, and then like after like the next day, I was like, crap, I forgot something.
Oh, so you're the Hanekoma of your friend group,
Uh-huh.
randomly sending out mile-long text messages explaining what happened.
Well, luckily it was voice chat.
Oh, so you got the easy way out.
I got the easy way out, yeah. It was also very cathartic. I got to vent.
You finally got to scream at your friends who hadn't seen the game or haven't played the game
Yes,
yet, right?
it was so nice. And I get to do it again for my other friends.
This is the one benefit of the anime, which I'll talk about later.
We can talk about this now. You want to talk about this exposition? You want to talk about this exposition, Neko?
Oh boy. So where do I start? I think all three of us here have read the secret reports, right?
Yeah.
Ahmed.
Sure.
Ahmed!
Sure. All right. Look, I have read them
Do
in a
you
long
know
time.
how to read? Are you pit?
I may have read them once upon a time, but I definitely week 3 specifically is very hazy, and Final Remix is very hazy because I read them a long time ago. But I do remember the rest of them vividly because I got them myself.
Okay. You have read them.
Yes, I'm gonna get called out because of that. By the way, I am 100% gonna get called out because of that. But I'm just saying the truth.
Online.
What some fan I am. What a
They are on
sham.
the wiki, to be fair. They're easy to read.
But yes, I do need to read them again. But yes, I remember most of them, and I know the gist of them. Yes.
Okay, that's all I needed to hear. I was like, if you hadn't read the secret reports, why are you running this podcast? I'm about to stab you. Sir, I hear you.
Don't worry. I'm just preparing myself for a possible escape. You good? Please continue.
Anyways, there's a few things I want to touch on, like, immediately. Hanekoma is pretty much the catalyst of everything that has happened outside of the game that happened between Megs and Joshua. Hanekoma literally caused everything else to happen. And it's a really big point of the secret reports that he's like feeling a lot of guilt for everything that he did, but he's more than willing to do it. And he uses the phrase specifically, I'm willing to fall from grace. And for those of you who do not know what that means, Hanekoma is an angel. With
What?
tiny
That's
ass
crazy.
It's so annoying.
I mean, tiny ass wings in this. His wings aren't usually tiny.
Yeah.
They're not great. We'll go back to the wings in a little bit. But Hanekoma says he's willing to fall from grace, which in angel words basically means I am willing to kill my composer, it means saving other people. And a lot of things happen because he is willing to fall from grace, including but not limited to telling Minamimoto what Joshua looked like as a normal human boy. That's not good. What do you think about your boy trying not to get shot?
Oh my god.
Well, it's just a very dry.
That's all I got, yo.
I think it's great.
A laugh.
That was
I think it's
literally
great.
the perfect response.
I think it's fantastic. You know, fair play to Hanekoma leveling the playing field. What a guy! What a guy! What a guy! What a guy!
He at least tried to level the playing field.
Yeah.
Minamoto didn't realize that Josh can keep his powers,
Mm-hmm.
which
Apparently
is
so.
a terrifying thought when you can stop bullets by flicking your wrist. The other thing is Hanekoma did create the red skull pens, which Neku thought didn't happen when he found, or what Neku was trying to avoid thinking. Hanekoma did create them, which definitely made Shibuya a minefield of zombies. That's the way that I'll phrase it.
I think it's worth mentioning, just for the sake of any confusion. The whole point of the red skull pins was Megumi, like the challenge between Megumi and Joshua was that Megumi's idea was to save Shibuya. He wanted to give them all one voice and one goal. And to do that, he imprinted them using the red skull pins that he asked Hanekoma to make. That is the super condensed version of what was going on there.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And the big revelation about the red skull pins, it's literally just his will imprinting on people. That was the entire goal, and it was succeeding because Hanekoma was too powerful for his own good.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
Yep.
The other really cool thing, at least for me, is we finally got like true confirmation from Hanekoma's mouth, not in the secret reports, that all of his graffiti has the same imprint on it.
Yep.
The imprint is enjoy every moment with everything that you've got, which is very powerful. And they didn't explain this in the anime, and it sucks. But the people who respond to that imprint the strongest are usually the people that have the best control over psychs. They have the most imagination.
The strongest imagination.
I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole because it's a rabbit hole.
That's a whole thing. That's imagination is a whole thing. We're not gonna talk about it because it's a whole thing in the secret reports. Read the secret reports, dummy. Why would you even listening to this if you haven't read all the secret reports and remember? Come on, man. Continue, Neku.
Yeah, they didn't even talk about Soul.
They did talk about Soul in the first episode, though.
Yeah, but not in the nitty-gritty.
Not here. The place where it needed to be talked about. Anyways. The Hanekoma is not smooth. He's a very smooth dude. Don't get me wrong. He is not great at the fact that he had a huge hand in everything that happened during 3 weeks. Can anyone disagree with me there? Like,
yeah, no, he did. No, he had a lot of the stuff would not have happened for him.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of stuff.
Joshua trying to grill him and Hanekoma going, "I didn't do nothing." That was funny to watch.
I mean, if you really want to argue, like, Hanekoma was technically the only reason why Neku got shot. Because he made stuff that was so powerful that attracted Neku specifically, and it's him being so attracted to that graffiti had Neku be chosen as the proxy in the first place.
Yep.
Also, Neku's tendency to be emo and to hate people.
Yeah, too.
That too, yep.
But so that's another big point. It's the reason why Joshua picked him. He was like, "Oh, you're not gonna like people. You'll prove my point." And then things happen.
Yeah, emotion, etc.
Everyone go watch the anime. It answers your questions there.
All right, hit us one more piece of exposition that happened in this conversation, unless that's it.
The biggest thing is the key pin. For those of you that played the game, there is a golden key pin that's supposedly the key pin to open the way to Shibuya River, which is where Dead God's Pad is, which is where the Trial of Sinners is, or Trail of Sinners, and Trail of the Judge, and Room of Reckoning. It's where everything goes down. That was not a key pin. That was a super fusion pin somehow gifted to him by Hanekoma. And I don't know how to feel about that.
Me neither.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
You know how I am though. This is like really big lore important stuff, but also why the change?
That's the thing. Like, it's a why change it. It's like, again, I will never understand why they made such a big deal about 2 player pins and then not crush one of them in the end.
Never
It's
got
just
the crunch. Never forget.
I mean, like in the game, maybe they wanted to give like maybe in the anime they wanted to give it a reason because even in the game it was never used like as a key pin because show just breaks the barrier.
That's very true, actually.
So I think that they just wanted to make it useful, and maybe that is how it was supposed to be in the game, but no one caught on. But I think I've decided that I like it because it gives it a reason.
The biggest thing is I do agree with you. It does give it a very good reason to even exist, which is a good thing. And what was never talked about in the secret reports, how he pulled off the super fusion. So giving it a legitimate reason is a good thing. Doesn't mean it's not confusing to me.
Yeah. Look, it is what it is. Yeah, I mean, we could go on and keep talking about this all day, to be honest with you.
That's very true.
But the fact of the
really,
matter
like,
is, exposition happened.
There's still more exposition, like
there's a
how
lot of exposition.
yeah.
I actually want to give the floor. Can you tell us about your favorite boy and his reasons?
Yeah. So yeah, Joshua confirms that Neku is the reason he didn't destroy Shibuya, which, you know, it was nice to hear it from his mouth. That was probably weird. That was actually kind of weird for me hearing it from his mouth because he's not really one to just say that, I don't think. He doesn't really talk about his emotions.
Or anything positive, ever.
He doesn't say things outright, so hearing this is confusing.
It's nice though because it's a nice change and he's actively trying to change now. And so yeah, Neki was really a good influence on him.
For now. Everyone go play Neil the Worlds with you. Run!
We don't even know. But yes, there's a lot. There's a lot of stuff that happened in that conversation. I don't think we're gonna be able to hit on all of it for the sake of time. But I think we hit on all the main points in that conversation specifically. I think the only thing we could kind of talk about is that just Joshua seems a bit salty about the entire thing. And by the end of it, I don't know if it was salty or loneliness or whatever it was, but
both. I mean, his best friend plotted for his murder.
That's that's
that'll do it.
A thing.
Yeah.
Oh, there is one more thing I do want to talk about, which actually was not in the secret reports, which really confused me. A conductor has never run the Reaper's game.
Right.
I thought that was weird.
That is a very weird thing to outright tell us.
I mean, why would he? If the composer is that powerful and
the way
presumably
that, like,
immortal.
The way that
the issue that I have with it is twofold. The composer runs the Reaper's game and the game masters run the week itself. What's the reason for the conductor if he's not allowed to run the game?
Yeah, so
I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah, so
like think about it. Like the only reason the conductor is there is to like be a walkie-talkie. That's it.
Yeah. It's very odd because he's the most powerful Reaper. It would just make sense for him to run the game. That's what I've always thought, that he was just taking what the composer wanted and sending out orders to the Reaper officials, and they would send orders to the Wall Reapers and Harriers. I always thought that was the chain of command, but I guess according to the anime, at least, is a little different.
It's a very interesting thing to note, and I do have to wonder if they planted that for Neo, but we'll see because Megs is definitely dead in Neo.
Yeah. It's gonna be. We're gonna have to wait and see. Honestly, like we have no idea what this is actually gonna impact that or not. But let's see. Real quick before we talk about the last bit, a couple of things about the scenes that we saw with Neko walking around the city. The one thing that stood out to me is Now and Sota are alive again.
Woo! My baby.
What a great thing to happen, but why?
I don't care. I love them. It was
very,
but I love them.
It's very bittersweet for me because I'm super happy to see him alive again, but also it means that this game has 0 consequences. I don't know.
There are still a ton of people that died.
Yeah, so a lot of people still died.
See, we don't know. See, that's the thing. We don't know if like the rest of the players died or not. Because for all we know, the rest of the players may have came back. Like, why would it be Now and Sota specifically?
I think the only reason why Now and Sota lived, to keep it really condensed, is the fact they had such a positive influence on Neku that it affected Joshua, and Joshua was okay with that, so he brought him back to life.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for the simps out there, it doesn't see it's most likely that Beret Girl is still dead.
Yep.
A moment of silence.
Dead as fuck.
A moment of silence. Moment of silence over.
Same bit 5 episodes later.
But that's not the only. Those are not the only people who came back. Isn't that right, Mai? Who else came back? Talk to me.
The best band ever, my boys, the Death March. I'm so happy they're back. It's just so great to see 777 alive again. And because like I was so pissed with the anime when they erased Tenho and BJ, because I'm 98% sure they did not get erased in the game. So having them get erased really hurt. I don't know why I feel so strongly about Death March, but I do love them. I love their dynamic.
And I'm just gonna take a moment here to remind people that my same person who laughed at Joshua giving people mental shutdowns with a snap of the finger earlier.
Moving on.
I must move on.
I literally have nothing to say.
Let's see here.
We can also talk about how Joshua now has angel wings, because that was never a thing in the game. That was not a thing.
So fucking weird, dude.
It wasn't a thing until Dream Drop Distance.
Dream Drop Distance canon? Question mark.
I don't think so.
It's not supposed to be.
But we know how this goes. We know how SquareEnix does things.
What if Shibuya gets erased and they go to Traverse Town instead?
No.
That's actually one of my theories I've had, and I hate that it might happen.
Moving on. Skipping this conversation. We don't have time for it.
The only thing that we should mention and talk about is different graffiti at the end. They had a purple headphone here, piece of graffiti at the end there, made by presumably Hanekoma, as opposed to that not being there.
I am both incredibly happy and incredibly sad about that graffiti. I'm incredibly happy because it exists, but I'm incredibly sad because when you saw it in Neo on the Utagawa wall, the first assumption is Neku did it.
And
then we find out he didn't. And I'm sad. Moving on.
That's fine. But that graffiti is. I didn't even notice that graffiti was in Neo.
Yes. Willow and I talked about it for a good 2 hours when we realized it was there.
Oh shit, that's pretty cool. I like that. But that's also gonna really mess with the continuity, because then like which ending is canon between the two That was gonna be so
I
awesome.
don't know, and I'm not gonna think about it because that's a headache waiting to happen.
I'm just going to, because like we also see Brainy Cat at the end of the final trailer. He's still there. But it is on with the new graffiti. I'm just gonna take it as it's just a new graffiti design that is just kind of there now as a call back to the anime. But that's just for the sake of my sanity for right now.
Yeah, for the sake of us, exactly. We can't think too much about this.
I'm not giving myself a headache.
That pulls the curtains on the World Ends With You, the animation. That was the final episode. That was everything. We will now very quickly, because we don't have that much time to keep spending on this, talk about our thoughts, opinions, general final impressions of the anime as a whole, starting with Mai.
I have very mixed feelings about it. I think I enjoyed it for the most part, and I'm very happy it exists. I'm just a little nitpicky on some of the things, but I think in terms of a video game adaptation, it did decently well. I mean, they couldn't do everything, and going in, I definitely I was ready for things to be changed and for there to be a lot of cuts. There's just the few changes that were so odd that I'm just like so caught on. One of the changes I did like actually was in week 1. I really, and it's actually probably one of my favorite moments that's exclusive to the anime, is how Megumi tries to kill everyone.
Yeah.
He straight up involved himself and said, "Nah, die."
Yeah, and I that moment was just, wow, he's trying to end this early. It was just very interesting, and my jaw was on the floor because I did not expect that. And then I did not expect for Joshua to just snap his fingers and be like, nope, not today, Megs.
Yeah. Neku, final impressions on the anime?
It was a very mixed bag, and I hate to say it that way. There were some really good highs, but also a lot of lows. And that's probably my biggest disappointment with it. As far as an adaptation goes, we lost a lot of things that really made the game stand out, and it makes me very sad. Off the top, there were the keypin crunch. There was rhyme getting crunched. There were a lot of emotional beats that got skimmed over. There were a lot of character development moments that we didn't get. A lot of really cute scenes that were very memey, but were kind of important over time.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite moment.
Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to. I haven't even gotten to that yet. We will get to that real quick. No, there's just general impressions of what you thought of everything.
I, as a fan who's already played the game, I enjoyed it, but I feel really bad for people who haven't played the game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For me, so I'm kind of two minds about it. Because like I have a lot of the I think it was pretty good up until week. I feel like first week was really good. Second week was less good, except for show. And third week was kind of a bit disappointing. So I think overall it's good. And this is the thing, like I think I'm gonna reiterate this because I think this is the crux of the entire thing. Is like my personal opinions is I thought it could have been done better, and I feel like we lost a lot of character moments and stuff, like as was mentioned. But I'm also looking at it from a different perspective of so for some people this is going to be their first way of being exposed to the World Ends With You, and the only way they're going to be exposed, and the only way they're going to be caught up before Neo. And considering the fact that this is their goal is just to bring people into the series, and obviously the budgetary restrictions, because at the end of the day they're trying to crunch down a 25-hour RPG into a 5-hour anime. I feel like they did okay. I feel like they did pretty good. I feel like they did a decent job at sort of bringing sort of the main concepts of the story to the anime. They did a good job of showing you what the characters are like. They got a good story, giving you decent character moments. I think they did a good job at that stuff, and I think people who have never experienced the World Ends With You before will enjoy this. Especially for an anime adaptation of a game, I think it's pretty solid. I think if you have played the games and have been a big fan of the game as long as I have, or Neku has specifically, there's gonna be a lot in here that will irritate you. Like, I was kind of disappointed to see, like, after again the big move from Megumi at the very beginning of week 1. Like, after that, I was like, whoa, they're gonna change a lot about this anime, and there's gonna be a lot of cool stuff for us to see. But then they didn't really do anything like that again. Like, that was kind of the only big drastic difference that they did. But yeah, I feel like we gained some stuff. I feel like we lost a lot, but I think overall, while I didn't love it, I feel like I'm glad it exists. I feel like I'd rather have somebody experience this than not experience the original at all.
Yeah.
And that's honestly how I feel about it. Real quick, quick fire, give me your sort of favorite and least favorite moments in the anime. Yeah, we'll start
I already
back with this.
said mine. So.
Fair enough.
Favorites, and I'm just going to do a cop out here, the super fusion. I didn't really have like a straight up favorite moment in the anime was the problem, because a lot of my favorite moments were not animated. Like, I'm a big character snob. I love character filled moments, and almost all the ones I can think of, like pants off now, Beat doing a bunch of face shifts, Joshua constantly making fun of him during week 2, like really being a snob about it, etc. We lost a lot of that, so I don't really have a favorite moment outside of like combat stuff.
Yeah.
As for least favorite, episode 11 as a whole.
Damn. Okay, fair enough.
Fair, yeah.
For me, it's very clear in my head. Least favorite moment is very easy. Episode 1, the choking scene, easy. Least favorite moment. It's the moment that got me into the series, and they butchered the shit out of it. That's honestly, I'm really mad about that. I feel like that was that, and that was such a big moment for me, and it wasn't done justice.
That's the same for me. That's my least favorite moment. They really screwed that scene up. That whole episode still, that like you said that you found week 1 the best. I found week 2 the best because it was better paced. Week 1 just went way too fast for me.
Right.
Week 3, I felt like it was fine, but week 2 really, it was just better when it came to the character moments.
Yeah.
Just kind of developing, and also like Neku learned a lot that week.
Yeah.
But what like your favorite moment?
My favorite moment is probably the Shiki stuff, especially near the end of the week. So the moment with Eri, and also there's 3 moments that stand out to me in particular. The shark scene with Rhyme, one. The other one is Shiki's scene with Eri, and then the scene with Shiki being claimed as Neku's entry fee. Those 3 moments, super good. Super good. I love those moments.
I will definitely say a very close second for me with Shiki being claimed as an entry fee.
Yeah. It's really well done. Because it was different and something I didn't expect, and they did things a different way. But yeah, I mean, some of the cool moments are like the show fight. Obviously, was pretty cool. I think all of the fights like could have been better. I think like the combat was decent, but not fantastic.
I felt like the combat in week 1 was better.
Yeah.
If we're able to transition to the last point about this, if I may, The only two things I would fix if Neo got an adaptation, make it 2 seasons, give
Yeah.
it time to breathe, and give the combat a much stronger sense of self. This was a very generic combat anime, and I don't like that because of how unique this game system is.
Yeah.
Like, we make the joke a lot of only fire pins.
Mm-hmm.
The last pin he used was a goddamn fire pin.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, but like I think the whole budget and the fact that it was only 1 season for the anime is a huge point, because that's a big reason why they couldn't sort of delve into other character moments and couldn't do all that kind of stuff. They didn't have the time to do it.
I hate it.
So, which is unfortunate. But yes, is there any other final sort of comments before we move on?
The final entry fee never got explained.
Oh
I
my
was
god,
just
it
thinking
did.
about that. Like I with my friend, I was like, it'll get explained at some point, I'm sure. And then
Which
it didn't.
final
I'm
entry
like,
fee?
wow.
All the
The
other
one-
players.
Yeah.
Oh, that was. Wait, that was explained?
They never said all the other players were the final entry fee. They just said, hey, there's only 1 player this week.
Wait, really? That sucks. I didn't even notice that.
Neither did I.
Yeah, when I was going, because with my friends that were going through the anime, I was also playing the game alongside it. And so they were watching the anime, and then they would compare it to what they see in the game. So they'd be caught up on the anime, and then they would see me playing that week. And they're like, wow, this is different. And like I skipped past the entry fee explanation in the game. I was like, don't look at that, because I thought that they would bring it up in the anime, but they didn't. So I had to add it to my long explanation.
Yep.
And
Wow.
yeah, they were like, holy shit, why did they not include that? That's fucked.
Yes.
Actually is.
I never realized that.
Wow.
Big yikes on that one.
I'm about to turn into a salt mine if we don't move on.
Well, don't you worry. Keep your hats on, Neku, because you know what I say to all my salty friends. It's time once again. Well, it's time for news. First of all, it's time for news. We don't have a news jingle yet, but I'll find a generic news tune and play that for news. But yes, we'll move on now from the TWEWY anime. I'm sure y'all have some more questions to us about the anime. Which I mean, you could keep those questions and ask us at a later date, some Q&A and something. Ooh. But for now, we shall move on. Let's start by now. I'm not even gonna say that there's not that much news. I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna say there's a ton of news and lie, because I don't want SquareEnix to track me down and give me a review copy or something crazy like that. So,
Hey Square, can you supply us with 3 reviews copies like a week early so we can actually play this game and not be spoiled?
Oh my god.
please, thank you. I appreciate it.
I
So
deeply considered reaching out on the Twitter and doing that, by the way.
there is a collaboration in Japan between The World Ends With You and Karaoke Tetsujin. I said that.
Just take over, bud.
I'm good. To tell us more about this collaboration, Neku.
So, for those of you who do not live in the land of the rising sun, Karatetsu is a karaoke bar, like an adults karaoke bar. Like, they serve alcohol there. And once again, I am sad that none of us live in Japan to pick up free stuff, because guess what? They have merch there.
Of course they do.
They have pins, they have dioramas, they have themed drinks, themed food, and by the way, they do carry out, so you can get free stuff just by ordering the food and walking away.
Yep. Yep. Nice. Good. Neat. Thank you.
Oh my god. I'm looking at the drink that Josh is just coffee.
Nice.
I'm not surprised.
We have coasters.
They have coasters. They have pins. They have.
Oh, the food looks so good.
Yep. They have. I think it's like small dioramas, so like little stand ones of like the major characters and the major reapers.
Yep. Yes. Good. Sweet. Nice. Cool. Great. Very cool. Glad. Yes. Glad I have access to none of this. Very
More
cool.
merch I'll buy. More merch I'll buy in 3 years off of eBay for 6 times the price.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But it's fine because you know what you can't resell on eBay for 6 times the price 6 months later?
A skateboard.
Yes. Well, actually, no, you can't do that. But it doesn't matter because it's time for my favorite game show and yours. Merch that we can't afford. I've forgotten the name of the show already. Yay! There's like literally like one piece of merch. I'm not even fucking kidding. There's like legit that's it. That's all she wrote. Look, it's cool. It is cool.
By the way, the Ramen Beat statue have officially been painted and colored and are up for pre-order on the SquareEnix store.
Yeah,
and they are cute. Though the Beat looks a little odd.
Yeah, Beat's face is a bit.
Beat's fucking hat is weird, yo.
Yeah, it's weird. Like I didn't expect it to bounce like that. Rhyme looks great. I don't know. Beat's face is a bit. Wait, well, don't look at the waifu. But
there's a random waifu in here, by the way.
Just don't worry about that. Don't worry about this waifu instead. So yeah, Beat and Rhyme figures to match the Joshua, Neko, and Shiki ones. There was only a matter of time, and I'm glad they're here.
Oh, there is one other piece of merch,
which is this thing. It's the original soundtrack for the. Did we not talk about this? Hold up. I think we already talked about this.
What, the soundtrack officially being released? We've mentioned it's coming, not that it's officially out.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's officially out as of yesterday.
Yay! I can pre-order it with all that money you no longer have. And that's it. The shortest episode of merch that we can't afford ever made. We did it. We finally. It's too little, too late. We're already broke, SquareEnix. Too little, too late. You can't just defeat us now. It's it. I'm already out of money.
We're
wait
already
till all the
screwed.
Neo merch comes out.
Yay!
Yeah.
I'm already crying in money pain.
Before we move on, there is a few things I want to mention before going on to the last couple things we want to talk about. The first thing is a correction. We are human. Last time I checked, you're still human, right, Neku?
No, I'm a player. What are you talking about?
Okay. But we are human, and hence we make mistakes. I would like to apologize for misinforming people last episode and completely brain farting and forgetting that there is a second show fight. I'm particularly annoyed that I didn't remember this. But in week 3, there's a show fight that you lose. That I completely blanked and forgot about.
We all did.
Yeah, we all did.
So, oopsie doopsie, it was bound to happen eventually. But I'm gonna correct it here and say my apologies on that. Also, a little thing that I would like to show real quick is that our friend Alexa, also known as Venti20 on Twitter, is doing a week of TWEWY thing, which you should definitely go and check out. She'll be doing a week of Twitch giveaways from the 20th to the 26th of July. So right up until Neo's release. She's super cool, and do check that out if you are so willing. I will try to remember to put her link in the description below. But with those two things out of the way, that was the shortest news segment ever. It's well, that's mostly because we have other things to talk about that aren't the anime anymore. I should mention this actually before we go on. from here on out, the podcast is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a little bit shorter. It's just because we have to work out a new format now that we don't have an anime to review. Two episodes to review each episode. So bear with us as we sort of work on the format a little bit and change up the format of the podcast a little by little. But these are growing pains. We're still a pretty young, up and coming podcast. So I hope you do enjoy. There'll be talk about different kinds of stuff, and we'll be changing up stuff from here on out. So hope you guys stay tuned and are willing to pull through for that. But there are two massive pieces of information we need to discuss. One of them is, first of all, we jinxed it. Can I just say that we jinxed it?
Again,
yay.
This is what, the 5th time in 9 episodes?
Literally in episode 8, at the very beginning, we were like, oh, this is a light news week. What? And then Maya was like, imagine if they dropped a demo or something.
SquareEnix's ears perked.
So they, not only did they drop a final trailer for the game, but they also dropped a demo that none of us have been able to stop playing. So here's what we're gonna. Actually, what do you guys want to talk about first? Because I feel like the so when we talk about the demo, we're only gonna be talking about really kind of brief impressions of the demo and sort of how we felt about it without spoiling anything in the demo. Because I know a lot of people want to stay sort of blind and don't want to play the demo, so they don't spoil the stuff on story stuff. I think, guys, I almost think we should talk about that first, just to get that out of the way, and then we go on to the big thing.
I think we should hold off and do it after final trailer, because some people want to be completely blind, not even new impressions.
So before we do that, I'd like to add a personal correction. I did say in our Zeta Slow episode, go watch the interview, I said if a demo dropped, I would disappear for a month. I would not touch the demo. I would do nothing. I caved to my inner urges, and I played the demo before either of these two could even think about it.
Yes, come to the dark side. Come here, come hither.
I have watched this trailer. I have played the demo. You do not need to worry about me. Even though parts of me regrets it because I wanted to go in completely blind, I enjoyed my time.
Look, man, you really thought you were going to escape all this? I don't think it was possible.
I could have uninstalled everything and disappeared off the podcast for 2 episodes.
Oh, no. Yeah.
That was the nuclear option. Be glad I didn't press that button.
Look, man, yeah. I can't do cardboard Neku for 2 episodes. Look, man.
Me neither.
Are you sure? I think people would like that.
I don't talk
sure
that
people
much.
would have liked that.
It would have just been. It would have just been Ahmed talking all the time, and just me trying to keep up with his chaos.
Isn't that how Josh show works? Show talks a lot, and then Josh goes, "Fuck you."
Yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong.
What do you do as a buffer?
Yeah.
So what we're going to talk about is that we're going to go through this trailer bit by bit, muted. We're going to go through it bit by bit. It's going to be a doozy because it's pretty long, so we're going to try and not to... we could potentially spend an entire podcast episode on this trailer alone, honestly, but let's try not to do that. Let's try and keep it fairly concise for the sake of timing. We'll go through it bit by bit and then sort of give the comments that we want to give. So let's pull it up here. And I think the first thing that should be mentioned about this before we go into it is I don't think a lot of us saw this coming.
No.
What's about to happen? Well, yeah, I had a theory and I was like, oh, that'd be cool. I was joking.
When any of us speak anything into the universe, SquareEnix hears us. We just need to zip our mouths shut.
I think so.
So I have a suggestion for the podcast. As we're watching this, don't stop it so that we don't spend half an hour on it.
Well, I have to pause when we're talking about certain points, but let's talk about this first, because Shibuya is dead! Yay!
Crab rave.
I was supposed to be wrong.
So Shibuya's dead, everybody. That's it.
Shibuya got inverse. Shibuya got straight up ripped into the sky, and it is terrifying to watch.
Yep.
Hey, Mai. Never speak of Shibuya ever again.
we cursed
No
this
joke.
too.
Mai called this in a private call, and it was insane.
So, I do want to limit our theorizing a little bit. I feel like at this point, with the game coming so close so soon, I don't want to theorize too heavily, especially not on the podcast. I mean, there could be any reason for why that happened. We kind of get a few clues in here.
But they can also be complete red herrings.
Yeah, exactly. Like they said that they purposefully adjusted this to sort of misdirect or sort of remove spoilers from this trailer in particular. So, yeah. So I mean, does anybody have any comments on what we've seen so far, or do we just move on?
Yeah, Pain's the first one, and Kingdom Hearts 3 final trailer flashbacks for those of you who are in that fandom.
So yes, that's how it starts off, and then we get, oh baby, you have no idea how happy this particular. So we're looking at the segment with showing a lot of gameplay right now. You have no idea how happy this gameplay makes me.
It's good.
It is good.
It's so good. It is so good. It's kind of going into my demo impressions, but all I'm gonna say is I didn't even really expect it to be this good. But I'm glad to be wrong about this. But yeah, we see some pins that come back. Like we see that the sort of telekinesis is still a thing. With him, with Sho sort of throwing out all the cars. We see some more of the big groove attacks. We see a bunch of stuff. We see this over here, which first of all, transformation is back in the game, which yes. Give me back transformation.
Thing?
I have no idea. I've seen speculation. I don't agree with the speculation that was made about this, by the way.
That is not what I'm asking you.
But you know, it's Splatoon is a big game, and I'm really glad they referenced it here.
Oh my god.
Ahmed, that's not what I'm asking you.
What? What do you want? What do you give it to me straight, Neku?
How would you describe this thing?
Squid.
It's a squid noise. Okay, that works.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, the first boss we see in the trailer is basically a giant squid noise that is very weird, and it has a weird shield thingy. That's all I can really describe it as.
It's totally not someone's noise form.
Oh yeah, Nagi gets crucified. That just happens.
Also, I'm gonna point out I never seen that there's like this weird starfish pin that somebody's using down there. Look at in the bottom right. I've never noticed that before.
Maybe a boomerang pin.
Maybe.
Then you just start some starfish.
But yeah. This is the thing. I've seen speculation as to what I'm not even gonna really say what the speculation is as to who or what this is. Because I think it's kind of it's way too out there for me to even mention. But Nagi gets captured, and we're like, no, Nagi, and then she gets smacked up.
Nagi literally gets crucified. It's terrifying.
Yes, but not as terrifying as my boy Susukichi. There he is.
This man really likes Go.
Is that what that game is called?
Yes.
Oh. I didn't know
literally
that.
Just Go, G-O. That is all it's described. That's his name.
So yeah, and now we see why he calls everybody discs all the time. We see his Mai, do you think it's a taboo form? I don't know. I'm not sure how to describe this.
I don't know, because I was just thinking that like the pose that he's in right now, it's similar to Higashizawa when he transforms into his noise form. Yeah, I don't think it's taboo, but he definitely looks a little he looks a little rough, yeah.
I like this phrase.
His chain broke.
No, I think this is him transforming into a noise form. Like, I don't think it's a taboo noise form. I think it's just a noise form, like a noise possession or something like that.
Mhm.
Because you can see like
Yeah.
a noise tattoo on his chest. That's my first assumption.
Yeah.
Also, you just
I
get
also-
kind of flipped over. That's
I like this mechanic a
terrifying.
lot. And then we see our boy here, Spanish boy. What's his name? Should know his name.
I forget.
Motoy?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I thought he was gonna be a sweetheart. No.
Well, we haven't gone there yet.
For a curve.
But this seems to be some sort of gimmick battle, which is cool.
It's also terrifying because I can't see anything.
Yeah.
It's cool. I like it.
Text boxes everywhere, and I feel claustrophobic, dude. Help me.
I like it. I like it a lot. I can't wait to fight this. This seems like it's gonna be funny. Everybody popped off when they saw pig noise again, including me.
Deserved to.
I'm also really glad that it has its own UI, which is super cool.
That is a detail they did not have to do, and I love it.
Yep, it's super neat.
It's
Not to mention we all know what street this is.
How pig noise goes. Kill it before it runs.
This is awesome.
Hi, Gigamew.
This is awesome that they referenced this. I lost it when they referenced this.
I'm just so confused. I just need to know.
We'll find out. That's all I can say. I'm not theorizing here. Laser beams.
And we finally have Rindo's last name, Kanade.
We got Kanade as his last name a while back. I think it was in one of the character trailers.
I don't remember ever having, because I know that Twitter was freaking out about having his last name just when this came out. I don't think we'll
figure it out later. Skip.
Yep.
Skip to they seem to have taken a screenshot of Xenoblade 2 for a sec, or Xenoblade Chronicles for a second, because this is what this skill tree reminds me of. Yeah, the social network system. So can I share my interpretation of what this is? Because I'm pretty sure I'm on the money with this one.
If you're about to say social links, I will kick you out of this call.
No. I think what these are is that so we've seen what frets is. So I want to point out a couple of things. I want to point out FP on the left, which because it's this game, I'm gonna assume that means friend points.
Yeah,
or friendship points. And then basically when you connect to some of these characters or get some story point, you can redeem their reward if you using the points that you have as currency. And I feel like this is how they're gonna replace the stickers in the original game.
That is actually a really good theory.
The reason why I say that is because the one Fred gives you is easy mode. So and it's only like it requires only one of those friendship crystals. So
okay.
So essentially what I think, right, is gonna happen is that as you meet more of these characters, get more of these friend points, you can kind of decide what kind of perks that you want to get back. So, for example, like Rindo's reward is HP viewer. Like that's the most basic possible reward, right? That's like the game giving you the option. That's like the original TWEWY giving you the option to escape as the first thing that it gives you. You know?
Yeah.
And then like one up there for one that you get easy mode, which makes sense. I imagine that's how it's gonna give you a bunch of the sticker stuff. That's my theory.
That's a good theory.
Yeah. Other than that, this is the only thing I'm gonna say before I pass it over to you guys. Is I find that time frame thing very interesting because that could mean a lot.
I think it's a gatekeeper. Like you have to hit this day to be able to do this.
Yeah, maybe it's like similar to how in the original game, you like certain noise was only available on a certain day in a certain week.
Or when you could only get certain stickers on certain days because those shops weren't available yet.
I want to agree with you, the reason why I'm terrified is that we know that there's going to be some sort of time travel in this game.
Yep.
Which terrifies me. That, in combination with this, terrifies me. As to what that could mean. I'm not even going to begin to possibly theorize what this is. But I think Mai will agree. It's very interesting seeing the characters that are connected to which characters are connected to which characters.
Mm-hmm.
Show's just connected to a Reaper. It's the only thing my brain is focused on.
Look, man, in my headcanon, that's the Reaper Creeper guy. Oh, sorry, the Reaper, the Reaper Review guy. Sorry, the Reaper Review guy.
I just am trying to see who's under the FP symbol.
Oh shit!
But
Yeah, good point.
Nagi's connected to the prince.
Because Nagi's a super fan, so that's what's gonna happen.
Yes.
I do like how it's like you do not get all of the characters very quickly. Is what it looks like. I'm very excited about that. There's things to discover.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, what I'm excited about is that there's so many of these little portraits, and they all have unique sprites. Like that is insane to me. Like the scale of this is gonna be huge. But yes, we'll let this. Yeah, so this just to show you, it shows it right here. Like the reward here is easy difficulty.
Yep.
And there you go. And then we gotta go quick preview into Dive. I think we've talked about these already. As to what the three mechanics of the characters do. You want to give us, Nick? You want to give us a quick summary of what Dive is?
Dive, the super short version, is diving into someone's thoughts and figuring out their like true feelings and pulling their real feelings to the surface. Yep,
by doing a battle.
That's it.
Because not all of these are linked to battle. This one specifically is linked to battle, though.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of like the missions in the original where like people's emotions are being affected by noise and you have to defeat those noise to fix them. That's what this reminds me of.
Yeah, it definitely does seem like that.
Also, currently rip memes.
I mean, this is kind of the closest thing we have to memes right here. Is Precious
is a meme, okay?
My precious boy Fred, my precious boy whom I love very much. Just with his dumpy MS Paint drawings. And then there's this, which I don't know much about this in particular.
I literally think it's like imprinting, but it's not involved with memes. You just pick a couple words and shove them into someone's head.
I mean, it says imprint right there.
Yeah, that's where my guess comes from.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not.
I don't think we have to gather memes anymore. I think we'll just have a word selection and then we'll go from there.
Yeah. Onwards, cute wallet, etc. This is my boy Show, and we get to see some. We finally get to see some of these. I think this is the first time we get to see shopkeepers and how shops look like in the game. In like, we've seen screenshots, but I don't think we have seen it in video form.
I'll tell you, in video form, I agree with you, but we have seen it in screenshots that look in game.
So we see them getting some food.
Over this one.
Oh, dude. Okay. Yeah. I mean, Twitter's already going nuts. But yeah, I mean, a couple things. Like, there's a couple things here that like are pretty obvious. Like, obviously, it says like what stats increase. It gives you a calorie count, which I assume is going to be kind of similar to bytes in the original game in some way.
Probably.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
My assumption is calories will be consumed as you fight, and since there's no longer like a waiting system from what we can tell, there's no like come back after a couple of days and you can eat again. It's going to be based on how much you fight is how fast you get to eat again.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Which is a cool mechanic. I like that. I like that better than waiting for an arbitrary timer.
It encourages grinding, which I'm okay with because this combat's great.
Yeah. To add on to that, two things I want to add in. First of all, if I can direct your attention to Show's numbers here, my boy is jacked up. Like he's been lifting.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
Those are some stats.
My man is jacked. I was wondering why, like, just like certain things from the demo made me think for a second, but my man's stats are ridiculous. My man as to which makes sense because he's just more experienced in this entire world than any of these three turkeys. But it's good to see. But it's
what a description! Oh my god.
But yes. So super good. Also, the other thing I want to point out is that you see how this is the max show happiness we're gonna see in this game. If you look at us smirk.
Yeah.
But it seems like if you give one character food they particularly like, much like in the original game, there you do get a certain perk. In here, it seems like you get an added stat bonus if you give somebody a food they like.
Show apparently likes really cold sherbet drenched in sauce.
I believe it. And also, I love these these portraits that are so precious. I love these goddamn portraits.
Fret crying over his pancakes.
Yeah.
And Rindo just looks so soft.
Yeah. Now.
Look at this man. Look at this dude. Look at this old man with a tied up hair and a white ass mustache. This dude is jacked. I love him.
Now,
everyone's jacked, Grandpa.
I feel like this is the person that people gotta simp over. I'm gonna be real with you.
Dude, I love him. He is amazing. I love his character design straight up.
It's like, what if Colonel Sanders was anime?
What if Colonel Sanders was anime and served nothing but fish and meat?
My man sold a whole hog. That's a whole pig right there.
For like $40.
And it's somehow 60 less calories than the roasted tuna head.
Don't ask me that. Don't ask. Just move on. Just ignore it. Do not don't question Colonel Sanders.
What I am going to question though is that fullness meter up there on the top right, because it apparently goes over 100%, but it's interesting.
I think that's the calorie meter.
I guess so.
Nagi's face.
It's Nagi's face, but there's something about this that gets me more than Nagi's face. And it's specifically that just show is like,
He actually
and then folds his arms
eating it.
I don't know why that's the funniest thing to me. I love it so much.
His mouth slightly frowns, and that is it. That is the entire thing.
Like, he has too much pride to complain about the food that he's been given, but he's also like gonna show you that he's not happy about this. I don't know. I love this part a lot. It gets me. But yes, we get to see the tasty bonus and all that good stuff. Now, I feel like I should mention this for this particular frame, but in the black honey chili cookie. This is an actual shop. Yeah. This is an actual shop in Japan and sells these exact things. Like, that exact hat is something you can buy right now.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Let's go.
BHCC is an actual, like, really popular brand in Japan, and seeing it in this game is shocking, to say the least.
You know what? Talk about it some more, because I'm actually gonna see if I can find the hat that we got last time.
The short version of BHCC, their style is more, I would say, more punk or goth than anything else, or just like really dark punk. They do a lot of leather, they do a lot of hats, they do a lot of baggy pants, they do some really big stylish bags.
These are just the same item. This hat and this thing right here, these are just the same thing. Like, just that's just that hat. IRL. Yep. It's super cool.
They sell these exact items on their site for actually, I think, about that much that you're seeing on the screen right now from the game.
Wow.
It's only like 200. It's like 2,000 yen cheaper in the game. It's crazy.
Yeah, like they're a high quality brand. You spend money there.
Yep.
I think it's like If you want to get one of their best jackets, it's like a full like leather jacket. It's like $1,000.
Jesus.
Also, I did hear a rumor that this person, the shopkeeper, Hirumu, is actually a friend of Nomura's. This is an actual person.
Huh.
I need to find this out. I will dig on that.
But I believe that was something I was told when I was streaming my reaction to this on twitch.tv/Amadeus_. That this is apparently somebody who's actually related to Nomura, which is cool. But yes, here's me if I was white.
This is not a discussion we're going into.
Moving on.
Nope, just go.
I mean, that is just my hairstyle. It bothers me, but this is your Pegaso alternative in this game. Fancy clothes. Not much to point out here except for the VIP level down there at the bottom left. You know how it is.
The VIP level is the replacement for the like meter.
Yeah. And then we get this. So, Neku, you come up. I think you were initially saying this theory, but I am gonna give you the floor to explain this real quick.
Do you mean the dash grooving?
Yes.
So this is a theory. This is not confirmed. There is music playing in the overworld. In this case, it's O-Parts, the new Neo mix. If you dash to the beat, it gives you groove meter for battles.
Or so it seems.
That's what it looks like. Don't quote me on that. But if I'm right, you quote me on this.
If that's the case, and I really hope it is, I'm gonna just dash everywhere for many, many songs because the soundtrack it slaps.
It is bopping.
Also, I will confirm one thing real quick. Hiromu Takahara is actually the owner of Black Honey Chili Cookie.
That's awesome.
That's nice.
I found his Instagram. It's nothing but his merch.
That's awesome. That's awesome. They put him in the game.
Off COVID.
Here's Suzuki. Suzukichi.
Use a phone.
And I mean, he says sausage fingers, so he can't type properly, but it's I love this. This is just the way I text people. If autocorrect wasn't there, you better believe this is how my texts are about to look.
Dude got big hands, big arms, and a tiny brain.
I love her. Okay, I just love her design.
Another simp?
Yes,
Another simp has been born?
I have been not really caring for many of them. I'm like, oh, that's a cute design, but I really love her design. I'm not big on beanies, so I don't like beanies, but I don't know.
She's rocking the beanie though.
She's rocking the beanie, the oversized jacket, and she has a Mr. Mew bag, okay?
Would you wear this outfit?
I would. It's not my style, but I would wear it.
I hate to be that. I hate to do this, especially for how much I've scolded people for doing this. I also really love this design. I also really love this system. All right, we're moving on. I can bring up Cardboard Neku. The people have been asking for it. You think I won't?
He's got lace under.
You have Cardboard Neku set up?
It's no, but I'll do it. I'll put it in post. You think I won't? I won't. I'll get too lazy.
That's a good point, but let's not do that yet.
Oh God, did I miss something?
Nope. Just if you missed it, keep going.
Just keep going.
This is just some sort of. I don't see a point in much talking about this because it's just gonna be something in the game.
Here.
Yep.
Yeah, this is all mission stuff. Reaper review, find the differences. Yeah, Reaper review lives. The man lives.
It's so good.
So happy Reaper review is back. I'm so happy.
I actually have to remember things again. This is gonna suck.
It'll be awesome. And then this is the point where the entire trailer takes a turn.
And the beat drops.
Yep. This is where they play Storm, which is a really good song. Xander Mobus.
Xander Mobus, you are a glorious man, and I really want to talk to you. Please tell me how you did this voice one day.
It's really sick.
Just so people are aware, Kubo is on the screen, and Xander Mobus gave him a very heavy Chicago accent.
Yes. We also get a certain look into the other sides of Fugo. Fugo? Well, that's not his name. Fuya. Right?
I'm pretty sure it's Fuya, but let me make sure.
Yeah. I believe it's Fuya. And this.
Yes, Fuya.
Yeah, Fuya. And this, my man showing a dark side. This freaked me out when I first saw it.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
That as simple as that sprite change is, the creepy eyes really sets the tone.
Yep. And then we I saw this coming from going on. Like I was like, you're about to stab me in my sleep 100%.
Who's crazier, you or Matoy? That's what we're taking bets on right now.
So yeah, that's where the money is. And then we're being teased by Hapchana again.
Yeah, and Coco's back. She seems to be very friendly with Tsugumi.
Which is interesting. I don't know what that means.
We'll find out. I am not even gonna bother theorizing.
Yep.
Also, Shogi getting involved to join the Wicked Twisters is adorable and hilarious.
So, is it now fair to say that the 6 people on the front of the cover are probably all the team members we're gonna get?
I'm not saying shit.
Moving on.
Fair enough. That's a good answer.
I'm not making a call like that. I know better.
Mm-hmm.
It feels. Anyway, look at not important. We'll move on. Yes, Tsukichi tries to move on from how loud Shibuya is. And then we get this.
Yes, then we get Karya and Uzuki talking about the situation with the Shinjuku Reapers, and that it seems that another theory of mine where they just seem that they came over to Shibuya for refuge and are causing chaos. And
Much like a friend who moves in for a couple of weeks.
I hate that my theories are
I need you to stop saying them out loud. That's the biggest thing. Stop saying them. Just think them. Just think them. They won't hear you.
We get another conversation here about what will it do when Shibuya falls, whatever the hell that means.
Between I think Hishima is his name.
Hishima and Kaie.
Yeah, Kaie.
And then we get this, whatever this means.
Just I don't know. Count. What is it? Oh my god, my brain just
Right,
farted.
the countless wrongs of our days.
We're gonna move on. I will highlight the voice crack here because I love the way this line was delivered.
Shit.
Oh, you.
Thank you, Paul.
It's so good, Paul. Thank you for that. That was we posted that on Twitter and it got really popular really quick.
Thank you, Paul. It's just I didn't expect to hear it. I cracked up when I first heard that. That's great. It was not because it's delivered so well, but it's just the voice crack and the fact it's coming out of a SquareEnix protagonist is makes me happy, man.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the entire music for this section in the end,
it's really
so good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sorry, I cut across you there, Mai. What were you gonna say?
No, it's just like that. It's just concerning, but yeah, with Kubo, concerning.
Oh yeah, it is.
Kubo's scary in general.
Yeah.
And then
we get to watch this happen again.
Yeah, more pain.
With more detail.
Uh-huh.
Now
and then
now
and then we see some familiar sprites. At least the poses.
I will say my first reaction when I saw one of them was like, please no. That was my actual initial reaction. You can go back and see it. I literally just said, please no. Not like this.
Not like this.
We have this. We have this. And, we have this. So,
And just to kind of describe, it seems, and this is just total speculation, but it looks like possibly B, not really sure, but it definitely looks like Shiki and Joshua, just based on the poses.
We'll see. And,
Yeah, we'll see.
And then my favorite part of the trailer happens. You can't just leave me hanging, man. You can't.
And then we see this
There he
glorious, this glorious
Look at that man wearing Gato Nero, standing there. What's up, buddy?
He looks good. I
am
can't tell
so
what
excited.
color his hair is.
Bright, blinding light. Assume orange.
So, I mean,
There's not much else to say. It's Neku. Neku's on the screen. That's all I care about. I'm happy.
the only thing I want to point out about this is his hair seems orange here. That may sound like a dumb observation, but it will matter for something I want to say later. But the only thing I want to say is that his hair seems pretty orange here.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. You can
And then
also,
we
it
continue.
looks like his hair parts down, like goes down to the left of his side of his face.
Yeah.
Okay.
And of
I didn't
course,
actually
the ending
notice that.
song here.
Yeah, yeah.
This
Let the
music.
shine. I know it's so good.
There's
I wanna-
Utagawa. This guy. Who
Now-
are
I don't know
you?
who he is.
I'm gonna throw out one of my patented Ahmed predictions out there. I think this is the fool from the second trailer, and we've just been getting catfish this entire time.
I think so.
You
agree?
I'm starting to believe that
I
too.
agree with
This is
you. I
the
think this
part.
is Swallow.
Yes.
No,
Well,
yeah.
we don't know that yet, but I'm also
might.
like almost getting that impression that it might be Swallow.
I mean,
Uh,
it's a
my-
phoenix that is on his jacket, but it's also a phoenix is a bird and swallow is a bird.
That's some expert analysis. Holy shit! Holy shit! I wasn't prepared for. Oh my god! That was shocking. I need a minute. I need to breathe after that shocking revelation.
You can breathe while ending the trailer.
I can.
I love his design.
He looks good, whoever
Mhm.
that is. Oh yeah, and the thing that broke us for a week.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that's-
the demo being
which will.
announced.
We'll
I
have to make
mean-
a very short segment on it. I think we're almost at 2 hours now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yup.
This is gonna be a long
Well-
episode, even though we might be shorter. Every time we say it. Every
Yes.
time.
It
We
do
talk
be
a lot.
like
We
that,
have
you know.
opinions.
We do have opinions.
We're very strong.
We also like to scream.
Yep.
That's very true.
So that's the only I wanted to talk about that because I do think this is the fool based on what we're looking at here. I think this is the fool from the end of the second trailer.
Mhm.
Do you guys want to give me your final impressions of this trailer and what you guys thought?
Give me the game.
Yeah. I need the game because I'm too confused and I don't know how I'm supposed to wait another month, but I guess I will.
I have a couple of comments about this
It's less than
trailer.
a month.
Yeah, almost it's less than a month now.
I know, it's crazy.
From the
We're in
date of
July now.
recording. Who will not? No, you. God damn it! I was gonna do a whole thing where people like, oh, you never know when we're recording this, but yeah, cool. Thanks.
I already said earlier that yesterday was 6:30.
So, I have a couple of big points to say about this trailer. First of all, I think this is an excellent trailer.
Mhm.
I think it's really good. The only gripe I have with this trailer as a trailer, I feel like it may have shown a little bit too much.
Kingdom Hearts 3.
Mhm.
I
I
feel like I could have lived without seeing Shiki, and Joshua. Or even
like I
Neku.
could as
I
well.
feel like that could have been left out and nothing would have been lost.
Hmm.
And just it would have been a bigger surprise when it happens in the game.
Yeah, I'm.
For those of you who don't know why I keep screaming Kingdom Hearts 3, the Kingdom Hearts 3 final trailer that came out gave a lot of end game scenes, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, we know the ending now." And then the ending actually happened, and the entire trailer was a catfish.
Oh.
And so that it. Hope that's. I mean, it's very. I won't. Actually, I can't say that because that's a demo thing. So never mind.
Yep. But wait. This fool's basically wearing the jacket that I have on. I just realized
You're
that.
kidding.
Wait, and he's wearing
So
the
are you
necklace.
this fool? Are you a swallow?
Ahmed.
No, I'm definitely Fred. I'm definitely Fred, but like it's that's just what pants does he have on? Hold on.
Shorts? Jorts.
Oh, okay, no, I would never I've never put those on. Look at what are those? I wouldn't put those. But that is
skinny ass ankles.
To be fair, all of the characters have skinny.
I know. I know.
This is shockingly similar to my look, though. I mean, sure.
You've already claimed Fred as your boy. You can't claim two.
That's true. He'll be watching. He
yeah.
says. So that's one.
Kinda,
Go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Yeah, just to kind of go off on like how it definitely is hopefully a catfish and definitely seems that way. But yeah, I could have gone without seeing Joshua actually. Like I'm happy to know that he'll show up, but
yeah,
it would have been a nice surprise.
Yeah, exactly. That's like the only thing about the trailer that I'm kind of have a gripe with. Other than that, I think it was really good. I think it showed off a lot of very intriguing stuff. Showed a big plot point, so that people are gonna be like, "Ooh, I want to play that." The other big thing that really annoys me about this trailer. You really had this in your back pocket, and yet you didn't show it at E3.
We had this conversation as the trailer dropped. You know my feelings on this, but I'll say them here.
But
why do you want to go first?
They did not show this at E3. I despise this would have been such a perfect E3 trailer.
It should have been at E3.
I kind of can't believe it wasn't at E3, honestly.
Like this could have saved E3.
Hey, Nintendo was great.
This should have been the SquareEnix conference. This should have been this should have 100% been a part of SquareEnix conference. Take 5 minutes off of goddamn Guardians of the Galaxy and give it to this. The game is coming. It infuriates me that this was not at E3. It would have gotten so many more eyes if it had got it to. Granted, it seems like people are getting eyes on the game because of the demo anyway, which is good. But it's mind-boggling that they did not show this at E3. I don't know, Neku, talk to me.
So, I said this when we live reacted to it on Venti's stream, and I'll repeat it here. There's probably a couple reasons why they didn't show it. One, Square Enix's conference was mostly from Square Enix Montreal, so Life is Strange, Marvel games, small projects, indie stuff, mobile stuff, and
sure, but they also killed Chaos. Like that's a Japan thing.
Not really, not the way that game is made. The biggest thing is this E3 was catered towards Western audiences for Square Enix.
Okay.
The reason why that's a problem is it's a cult classic over here. It's not something that a lot of people really know about. We are a very small community.
That's true.
I agree with you. They should have definitely used it, but they were catering to the larger audience. And also, this trailer may not have been ready yet.
That is true.
I find that hard to believe.
Dude, you know how hard it is to make CG trailers?
No, I'm not doubting that. It's just that the game seems to have been complete for a while. Like maybe that's the case. Okay, you know what? I'm not gonna be that guy. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. I don't know.
I'd like to reiterate. I agree with you. This should have been at E3. but either production issues or catering to the Western audience got in the way.
Yeah, might be right. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. So yeah, that's honestly what I feel. But I feel like honestly, this trailer is pretty damn fantastic. Shows a lot about the game. It's just a good trailer. It's just a really good trailer. I feel like this is the kind of trailer that I'll show them the 3 of them, and I'm like, if you were not sold by now, this game might not be for you.
Yeah,
and I feel like that's the job of a trailer. But yeah, I think that's everything I have to say about that. I was pretty happy to see it. I'm glad to see it. I'm glad it came out, even if it was after E3. Good show all around. Brilliant, good stuff. We are running a little bit behind schedule. I might have to increase the capacity that we have on that website. We have to upload stuff to.
Find out
for this month because due to things, but anyway, let's get on to the final piece of news that we're going to talk about, or the piece of conversation we want to talk about, which will not take extremely long, to be fair. However, as I saw at the end of that trailer, a demo came out, and this is where myself, Neku, and Mai will give our impressions of the demo without talking too much about specifics or what specifically happened. Who wants to start? Not all at once, please.
You.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is the greatest trailer I think I've ever seen. It's honestly one of the best trailers I've ever seen, and it is absurdly good how good this demo was. And I do not say that, especially for an RPG. RPG demos suck ass. Like, RPG demos are not good usually, because like it's hard to get an RPG in a really short amount of time, and usually it takes a while for you to get all the good skills, and the gameplay isn't so boring, and there's a ton of exposition at the beginning and all that. Not so with this. So I feel like this context is okay to give. The demo showed the first 2 hours of not the first 2 hours, the first 2 days of the game,
which is about 2.5 hours.
It's about 2.5 hours. And also you can transfer your progress over to the main game, which I don't think any of us will be doing. I'll be playing the game over from the start again. There's a video that's gonna go up in the future of me of myself, and Neko was around as well when we were reacting to that. Well, it was me blind reacting to the demo. Neko had already seen it at that point.
I literally played the demo the second it came out, and I did not stop until I hit max level.
I was brought to tears. I was almost brought to tears by some of the stuff. I saw. I genuinely got super emotional playing it. God, I don't know what to say without talking about specifics. But here's what I'm gonna say. Story so far pretty intriguing. It's a bit of a different take. It's a bit of a different start compared to the original. The characters are stupidly well written. Like really, 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 really well written, and their interactions are a joy to listen to. Also, am I just Fred? I feel like I'm just Fred. I feel like Fred has said some things that I've just said in meetings and stuff here.
I feel like your calm self is more Fred, but when you get a little chaotic, you show your show side.
Show, yeah. I'm the exact middle point between show and Fred. But God, I don't want to take over the conversation. But I loved it. There's so much to say. I want to pop off about this, but it's good. It's okay. What do you guys think of the characters? Let's start there. Let me as host give this some sort of structure. Tell me what you guys thought about the characters and the story. Not all at once.
Yeah. Well, I gotta think. I thought that the story it starts off really, really nice, and then it's a little different than the original game was, because you're not really thrown into chaos, I guess, immediately. I think that's safe to say. But it was nice. I really like the way that the story was told, and just what I've seen so far. I'm really excited to know what's gonna happen next and how it gets from this to Shibuya possibly getting erased. But yeah, as for the characters, I love them. Fret is a little bean, and
I
he's
love him. He's so
protected.
precious.
I also suss him.
Why are people sussing him? I don't understand. You're not the only person that thinks that. How could you?
I know I'm not.
How could you? Look at his smile.
For me, it was the whole thing where in one of the trailers it says that he like picked up a pin and like things have been going weird since then, and ever since then I was like, I think Kingdom Hearts 1 did this to me, where Riku was like the best friend, and then I was like, nope, let me just betray you.
Yeah, but like, you know, Riku definitely had that anime teenage angst more than Fred does.
That is true. I don't know why. I literally don't know why I don't trust Fret, because he is adorable.
Any comments on the other characters, or?
Rindo is relatable. Just as much as Neku was.
Googling literally everything.
Yeah. But I think that covers what I want to say about the characters without getting into too specifics. Neku, what do you think of the story and characters?
This is the best way to introduce your characters, in my opinion. Make them very character rich, make them feel real. Yep,
and they do. They do, and that's the thing. Like whenever like specifically Rindo and Fred interact, I'm like, yup, this is definitely a conversation I've had with a friend, or this is a conversation I've had with a friend. They're so authentic.
They're teenagers
in the way they talk. Yeah.
They're literally just teenagers, and it's like really refreshing to see them talking about bullshit and making fun of each other, and Rindo is just being sarcastic 84-8. It's just he is permanent sarcasm, and it is great, and it's so nice to see.
Yeah. I think the other thing that we should discuss is talking about should we talk about the presentation first or the gameplay? Let's talk about the gameplay first. Mai, what'd you think of the gameplay?
I thought the gameplay, because there was like the fear of it being a little bit too simple, but the amount of combos that you can do is just really fun. And just like it was just so fun. Just the mechanics, I got very used to it very quickly. It's very easy to do combos, and it's just very satisfying.
Yep. Neku?
Give me the game.
I
have not felt this way about a demo since Devil May Cry 5. It is that good and that fun. Just give me the game.
Yep.
It was very interesting. Like, my friend was watching me play the demo. And she has never gone through the World Ends With You. She has no knowledge of it, only knows my bits and pieces of me screaming. And so she's watching me play the demo, and at the end of it, she's like, you know what? I think I'm going to have to play this game. And I'm like, well, start with the first one. But yeah, she knows nothing about it, and she really just loved what she saw. It was also just very it was a great time with me because she was making fun of Sho's entire outfit.
I hate that. I hate it so much.
Also, to quickly go back to the gameplay to make sure people understand, I don't say give me the game lightly. I play a lot of action combat games, and I am very picky. Like Persona 5 Strikers, I am still playing it, and it is not nearly as a hooked game for me. I played Neo for 2 hours. I played Fee 5 Strikers for like over 30. I want to play Neo now.
Yeah. For me, I'm gonna just character action games or action games in general are my favorite genre of games, or like they're up there with one of my favorite genres of games, along with fighting games. I've played DMC. I love the DMC games. I love a lot of action games. It is ridiculous how good the combat feels in this game. I did not expect it. I expected it to feel good. I didn't think it would feel this good and this smooth and this customizable. Like, really, the combat in this game is it's a bit more about combinations and how pins work together more than the original game. But my God, it is some of the most fun I've had. I love the combat. I absolutely adored what little bit I saw, and I can't wait to see more. Just the way they did it and the way combo things supposed to come together, I absolutely adore the combat. And when things happen, and when things happen the way they should, it looks amazingly cool. It looks so cool. Which brings me on to my final point that I want to talk about, which is the presentation. So music and graphics. I guess I'll start this time around. The game looks and sounds phenomenal. Super duper good. The music, I don't think I need to talk about the music because it's TWEWY music. It's gonna be amazing. The only thing I can say is that it feels like the general selection of music is a little bit more diverse. They're going to a few newer genres that they didn't go to before. But there's definitely a bunch of tracks as well that sound like TWEWY songs. And I love the music in this one, and all the characters are drawn super well, and I love the only thing I'm kind of like not 10 out of 10 about is just the 3D models can look a bit jank in cutscenes, but that's it. Just with some of the lighting stuff.
I'm gonna go next because I need to scream, Ishimoto-san, please tell me how you do this.
Yep.
How?
It's
How do you
insane.
make such a diverse soundtrack and never have something feel repetitive? I do not understand. Tell me your secrets.
Please.
It's insane that he does all the music for TWEWY, and it's all so good. It's all very diverse. And then you also look at Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core, where he did a bunch of the songs too. It's just-
This dude has a range.
Man, yeah, I'm jealous.
Like, you want to talk about a music producer? This man is God.
He is just God.
I can't form a coherent sentence. Like, I have to make this known. Jet Set Radio's composer, his name is escaping my brain because it's really late at night right now. He is one of my favorite composers of all time because he makes amazing electronic music. Ishimoto makes some of my favorite diverse music I've ever heard in video games. This man does not have a limit.
Hideki Kamiya, by the way. No, not Hideki Kamiya. Shit. No, never mind. Somebody else. Hideki Naganuma. Hideki Naganuma. Hideki Naganuma. That's the one. Yeah, Naganuma. Yeah. It's.
Like,
Man.
listen, I don't like screamo, okay? But there's some screamo in some of these songs, and I'm here for it.
I completely agree with you, and it's weird.
It's. Man, I feel like we should tie it up because like we could be here forever gushing about this trailer.
I only have, if I may, I have one complaint.
And I think all of us can agree on that.
I think I know what you're about to say. Yeah. Go ahead.
What's with the goddamn Silent Hill camera angles? What?
They're odd. It's very, I like having control of my camera at all times. And like the shots that they do with the camera are cool, but it's weird.
They don't feel good to walk around with is the only complaint I have, because you have full 3D combat with full camera control, and then you lock us to one angle.
And like the thing is that I'm in a 3D Shibuya now. I want to look around.
Yeah. I think For me, it's not specifically that bothers me. It's more I feel like the lens angles weird sometimes and stretches stuff on the screen weird, depending on where you're standing. It should be sometimes. That's what kind of trips me up. It's just the screen stretches and leans certain ways if you stand in certain spots. It's kind of weird to me. But that's literally that's the only even slightly bad thing I have to say about this demo.
It's the
in
only
conclusion,
complaint that any of us have, actually.
Yeah.
In conclusion, consider this my formal petition to change the Play the Worlds with You bot to Play the Neo the Worlds with You demo bot, please.
Yeah,
because it's such a good way of introducing people. It's such a good demo. I love it, and it's gotten me more hyped to play the game than I thought it would.
Mm-hmm.
It's just good. It's just play the demo. Just play the demo, damn it. It's free. It's on PS4 or Switch. If you don't have one of those, find somebody who has one. Borrow it for 2 hours.
Just steal it from
or
someone.
watch
Your
a
friend
stream
for a
of
day.
it. Yeah, you can also like watch a stream if you can't play it. But you should definitely try to play it. Because like I'm not one
of YouTube videos out there just exploring the gameplay. Please go watch them. If you have any interest, go buy this game when it drops.
Yeah, for me, like I'm not huge on gameplay. I'm brought into a game because of its story, and I really enjoyed the combat.
I am both. To keep it simple, I am both. I will be there for the story, even if I don't like the gameplay. But the gameplay can hook me faster than the story.
For me, it's funny because we're respecting. For me, like, I'll definitely tolerate a mediocre story if the gameplay is really good. But right now, this game has it all for me. For me, this game is shaping up to be one of my favorite games of all time. Like, straight up.
I hope it sticks the landing.
So it's just about seeing if it sticks the landing now. But with that, we have gone way over time.
We really have.
Oops, we had a small agenda too.
Yeah, there was a lot to talk about though. I knew this would take a while because there was so much to talk about.
Oops, all screaming.
But that's odd. It says the 10th of July. Wait a second. That's an off week. That's weird. Why would there be a podcast happening then?
I don't know.
Please keep an eye on our social media channels. Tuesday the 6th, you might have a mission coming your way.
Very interesting. I'm sure the mission will really capture our hearts. But
it always does.
Tell you who captured my heart is our patrons, who, again, if it were not for their support, we can't pay for the platform that carries our podcast. We can't. It just helps keep us, it keeps our head above water, and the support keeps us going on the podcast. So I would like to personally thank Willowbun, Exilra, RSP, Zetaslow, Shin Kojin, Dark Dude, Matsu Shipper, and Christia Ventresca. Thank you very much. You're all the greatest. You're all the best. And I love chatting to you guys in our private Discord channel, which, if you look down in the description, wherever you're listening or watching this, you'll find access to our public Discord. But also, if you're a patron, you get access to special perks, including a special channel in that Discord where you can talk directly to us. And you get some inside knowledge, and you get first opinions on some other stuff and questions for interviews, which we might have an interview soon. Ooh, exciting.
We do a lot of screaming in that Discord, don't we?
Yeah.
Yes. We had a full-on TWEWY struggle tweet thread in there the other day. It was painful. But yes, to wrap things up, thank you all so much for listening. Thank you, as always, to Osmaneku for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, of course, as always. It feels weird for me doing this because this is the team. Like, you guys are like the team. But I feel like I need to thank you. Thank you very much, Mai, for spending the time.
Of course, this is always fun.
You can find them.
More screaming.
You can find them respectively in their Twitters that are going to be linked down below. I would like to give a very special thank you to Floral Laurel, who does all the art and does all of the avatars that you saw here. They're all well drawn. Who, by the way, has commissions open for a reasonable price. You want to look as hot as we do? I know you do. I see you looking at my avatar. You can have that. If you go to the description below, you'll find a Twitter link to Floral Laurel, who is our artist, and you can commission one of these for your own. And you can pretend like you have the best podcast on earth. Pretend, of course. You'll never have that. This is mine. And I have
Hours.
yeah, sure, hours. And I have been obviously Amadeus _. Find me at Amadeus _ on Twitch. Rock Me Amadeus on Twitter. And you can find us as a podcast at twitter.com/TPEWY_PR. Our next episode will be next week on the 10th of July. It's going to be very special. So please do make sure you're following all our social medias to find out more about that particular episode as more information gets revealed. Thank you guys so much for joining in. I hope you guys stick around. There is some extremely exciting stuff happening with the podcast. Starting next week, that's the big one, but certainly after Neo comes out, I can barely keep quiet about the stuff that we have organized for after Neo comes out. So stay tuned.
I'm gonna keep him quiet for you.
Yeah. There's a ton coming. I will have to hold my tongue, but please stay tuned. If you thought what we did already was huge and we're growing now, just you wait and see. But for now, thank you guys so much for listening / watching. I'll see you all next week. Goodbye.
Good night.
Good night. See you guys.